Well, when it comes to home entertainment, there's only one man I trust, and sorry to all the other guys. Jarret Gahan, how's it going, mate?
Good, Elton, and yourself?
Fuck off. I
I
have a really disgusting puffy eye infection right now. You do not need to see that.
was wondering whether it was like a bit of cosplay as Elton John, or whether you were heading to like the shooting, sort of ranch, whatever they call it. What do they call those things where you go and fire the guns in
I
The
have
gun
something I want to
range, yeah.
say, but I'm
gun
not going to
range,
say it.
range. That's what I'm
I'm
looking
not going
for.
to say it because I'll get carried off the air. I'll tell you after the
Yeah,
mic.
oh yeah, I knew where you're going with that one.
Also, he did
Ooh, there's
watch.
a Michael Moore documentary in that one.
He did
All right,
watch a
gentlemen.
double of Crocodile Dundee and Crocodile Dundee 2 last week, so maybe he's doing the
That's
Crocodile Rock.
that's like that. That's going to do it. I think you need to do Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles, and it'll set everything right.
I did.
He did.
Oh no, he did.
He did the 3.
Oh,
I didn't mean
amazing.
to.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, what did you watch Crocodile Dundee? Did you revisit the old Fox DVDs from back in the day? Or yeah, perfect. Because pretty much the only way to watch the films with the original Australian dialogue tracks
Mm.
uninterrupted. Because the US Blu-rays have changed some of the wording and some of the things here and there. I think even some of the sound cues. And then, of course, because they're tied up with Fox in Australasia, it means that we'll probably never see Blu-ray releases of them locally.
There are just some movies that are old that I don't want restored. I like them in their original sort of grainy
Yeah,
look, and yeah. Anyway, that
yeah.
was last week's business.
No, no, fair
Yeah,
enough.
I
Well,
believe
anyway,
when
yeah.
when asked about it, he said that he tripped over and accidentally stuck Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles in the DVD player.
Mate,
It was a
I
complete
left
accident.
that opening for you 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I
Did
just had to wait to be able to get in.
did you do the wonderful Mr. Dundee or whatnot, the Paul
Oh
Hogan
no,
one that came out a few years ago on Stan?
no. But granted, that
Or
is better
Prime,
than part
Prime?
three. That is better than part
Yeah,
three.
Yeah, I actually
yeah.
like that one. Yeah,
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah,
yeah.
I enjoyed it. I mean, anything with Chevy Chase, even though, he's an echo of what he once was. But anyway, enough of the Crocodile Dundee. That's not coming out locally on Blu-ray this week. But what is, in keeping in theme with animals of some sort of nature, is Winnie the Pooh 2, or Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, I think it's actually titled. This is interesting. It's only getting a Blu-ray release through Umbrella, and I don't seem to be doing a DVD of it, which is possibly a move in the direction of, hey, we're not going to do DVDs for certain titles anymore. We're only going to do Blu-rays. Likewise with their release of The Raid, because they're only doing that on 4K Ultra HD. They're not doing a Blu-ray release, which makes sense. It's been out on Blu-ray before through Madman, but it hasn't been out in an edition quite like this because not only is it in 4K Ultra HD with Dolby Vision, two Dolby Atmos tracks, one in the original Indonesian dialect with the original score, and then the international version that's got like that chap that was Chester, no, not Chester, one of the guys that was in Linkin Park that did the American score for the film, but it's got Atmos tracks for both of those. It's got a legacy, like a bundle of legacy special features, like a ridiculous amount. The old Madman Blu-ray pretty much had like I think like a TIFF Q&A and maybe a featurette, and that was sort of about it. This has got commentaries, featurettes, all sorts of stuff, plus some new content. Got an audio commentary on there by two lads from Perth, filmmakers that did Top Knot Detective. So they're lending their expertise to doing a commentary on this one. And there's an exciting new featurette with a stunt coordinator, David Chee, who's not only a stunt performer and stunt coordinator, he's also a fight performer and coordinator as well. And this guy shot it and edited it. It's called The Raid Reaction. And that's a nice 12 minutes of sort of select fight commentary by David, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is a ridiculous release. Like it is the definitive release of the Raid now because it came out last year in a steelbook in the US. But this outdoes it in terms of special feature content, as well as having the inclusion of both of those tracks in Dolby Atmos. So, yeah, this is the go-to release for the
When
film.
are we getting the long overdue and promised Raid 3?
Yeah, I know. He's just seemed busy doing other things, mainly like Netflix movies. I know. We totally need it. I just hope he doesn't leave it because, like, the Raid 1 and 2 was so sort of close together. I think it's like maybe 4 years apart. So it's very similar to sort of like The Godfather 1 and Godfather 2. So I'm hoping the Raid 3 doesn't turn out to be The Godfather 3, where he's left it way
Well,
too long and
he
it's
was
probably not worth doing.
he was going to be moving it to like an English speaking country.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, okay. Well, that's going to be interesting because you're not going to be able to get away with that kind of stuff in an English-speaking country unless it's somewhere in Europe where, somewhere similar to say like where, Hostel is set, where you might be able to get away with a bit more. But yeah, that I'm curious, but I'm really keen because I mean, The Raid 2 was the Godfather 2 of sequels. It was just fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think he's doing TV as well because he's been doing that Gangs of London. I think that's got about 2 or 3 seasons now as well. So he's definitely keeping himself busy. But one day, The Raid 3. The other release from Umbrella I want to talk about and actually have a copy of it down here, but albeit this is the limited edition version, and the one that's sort of hitting trade-wide retailers next week's a standard version, which I think doesn't have the rigid box set. I think it's a more of a softer box set, and it won't have the lobby cards.
What are we talking about?
Booklet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Better
The
know, like,
Ozploitation Collection Volume 1,
Yeah.
which features these 3 Ozploitation classics, Crosstalk. No, that's Lady Stay Dead. Final Cut and Crosstalk, all brand new HD masters.
Love those
Loaded
movies.
with special features and all have original art here as well, which is quite nice.
Crosstalk and Lady Stay Dead. I love those so much.
Well, it's the cool thing about Lady Stay Dead is it hasn't had a release locally since the old Sime Home Video release back in the 80s. Had no DVD or Blu-ray. Did get a release in the States through Code Red on Blu-ray, probably about a decade or so again. So that it's nice it's actually getting a disc debut and a high def one with a new transfer. But yeah, I've never seen Final Cut. It's the only one of the 3 I've not seen, so I'm really excited to check that one out. But yeah, so it looks like a pretty good set. And like I said, the standard one that's hitting stores, you won't get all the extra fluff, which I really wanted because I really want that booklet. It's got like, stuff written by Paul Harris, maybe even Mark Hartley, who produced this release. It's a really nice booklet. I was skimming through and having a bit of a read. You know where the best place to read those are, though, gentlemen? Yep, indeed.
The throne room.
The throne room. I reckon there's at least 2 or 3 good visits to the throne to get through that booklet. So
do you have a little bookshelf in there?
Thumbs up. What's that?
Just stop eating anything.
No. I had to stash it like I'm sneaking drugs onto a plane, and then just walk into the bathroom in case the wife watches me, so she doesn't think I'm taking anything in there with me.
You just need to give up on the fiber, Jarret. That way you can spend hours in there.
Well, this is true too. I've got to cut that fiber out of my diet.
Bridge them.
Mm.
You do 2 or 3 like in between. You're just reading the book in between.
I literally could get through 2 or 3.
If I'm heading that way to the toilet, my family will say, "Is it a page or a chapter?"
There you go. Yeah, exactly. You go, no, in fact, it's a 44-page perfect bound booklet, my friends. So moving on to another distributor, Acorn Media this week, who's distributed through Madman. They're releasing the Shudder original stop motion on Blu-ray and DVD. Haven't had a chance to check this one out myself. Looks pretty cool, though. Looks like it's hopefully a little less Skinamarink and a little more like, I don't know, Late Night with the Devil in terms
I
of
thought it was going to arrive
originals.
with a bit of fanfare, and it kind of just fizzled. And it just looks
Totally
like the
did.
type of movie that I'd be all about. So I can't wait
There
for
was
it.
a lot of hype leading up to its release, and then it just kind of came out. And I guess we're just waiting. We'll probably get one of those BuzzFeed articles in a week where it says people are saying the scariest film they've ever seen on streaming. And you have to click through, and then it stopped, this movie stop motion. But anyway, we'll see. It's got the lead of Nightingale in it, who was recently in that Elucard movie, The Demeter, The Voyage of the Demeter, Dracula. That's it. The less said about that, the better. Anyway, moving on to Viavision. Viavision have 3 new titles entering their imprint Asia releases this week. They are Hero, The Wandering Earth 2, and Zoo Warriors. So they're all coming out. I mean, I think Hero is actually a really nice deluxe set where it's got all the sort of extra frills and that. The others just loaded with special features and those beautiful slip covers. But another title I want to mention from Viavision, which is probably a title I'm going to have to upgrade. So this is just part of Viavision's range, is Fairy Tale: A True Story, which will be an upgrade from my old Magna Pacific DVD. But the wife's a fan of it, and
With Harvey Keitel.
I watched it, and it's quite absolutely. Actually, Harvey Keitel's going to feature twice in today's segment because I'm going to bring him up a little later as well. So there you go. But yeah, beautiful little film, perfect kind of family film, and it's cool to see Viavision digging these out and giving them a high def release locally. So moving on to Defiant Screen Entertainment, who are releasing the other Harvey Keitel film this week. Okay, this one's called Paradox Effect, and it's only coming out on DVD.
Have you seen that artwork?
And the artwork is what I wanted to talk about. It's like they've taken this head of Harvey Keitel, stuck it on someone else's body.
Who's
But
30.
the head doesn't just look like Harvey Keitel. It looks like they've prepped Harvey Keitel's head for a funeral.
Yeah.
It's like his resting death face. Yeah, it's just like, what?
But it's like it's the head of an 80-year-old on the body of a 30-year-old.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because the body is like slim, really well
And
postured,
like running and
you know?
shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just ridiculous. On the cover alone, I actually do want to see the movie.
Yeah.
I read the write-up, and the write-up sounded fine, but the artwork won me because I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Have you seen
I wanna
some of
see
his?
that.
Have you seen some of his recent like Q&As on stage at various events and like MGM kind of seminars and stuff? He cannot string
No.
words together anymore.
What is he, like Joe Biden now? Is he?
Yeah, he's
Is
kind of
he
he's
running,
kind
is he
of
running for president?
he's kind of
Yeah,
he's kind of
exactly.
fading like that and trying to recall
that's
stories,
awful.
and the MC has to speed him along as if to say, "Hurry up!" Come on.
Oh my God, that's crushing because yeah, he's just such a powerhouse of an actor. But he's obviously in his twilight and he's doing these movies to, make some extra cash, probably to live comfortably and provide for his family.
They killed
So
him
that's
off
a
in the
shame.
National Treasure TV show.
I never got to that National Treasure TV show. Should I check
It's
it out? Because
great.
I'm a huge
Yeah, it's really
fan of
good.
the two films. Okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah, it's fun.
Excellent.
But it's much more a teen orientated thing, but it's
Yeah,
fun.
it's the team.
Okay, well, I'm all about fun, so I'll definitely give it a look. The other title I want to mention from Defiant, which might be of more interest, is a film called Refuge, a new horror film directed by Rennie Harlan,
Mhm.
the busiest man in, well, I don't know if you'd say Hollywood, working slightly outside of
fringes.
Hollywood, I guess, on the fringes, yeah. Because of course we just had The Strangers Chapter 1 play theatrically that's coming out now. It's been bumped to early next month on Home End.
Yeah.
But this one sounds interesting. It's like kind of sounds a bit like a supernatural version of Bob Clark's Death Dream,
Mm.
about a returned soldier that's not quite as he was, and there's a bit of like, ooh, what's going? Is he possessed by something? Anyway,
That
the
movie, The
synopsis
Revenant.
sounded
That
good.
movie, The Revenant. The first
Oh
Revenant.
yeah, of course. Yeah,
the
yeah,
soldier
yeah,
that comes
yeah.
back as a zombie but thinks he's still a
Yeah.
soldier.
Was that a French
Hopefully,
film?
he's like extra.
No, American. Yeah.
No, no, maybe it was a remake because I think the French one was Le Revenant or
Ah,
something,
okay.
and then they did a remake. Yes, and because then the remake might have got released through someone like Eagle or Griffin or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe, but
Yeah.
but it was good. It was really good.
yeah, no, it was. I don't know if I saw the remake. Definitely saw the French one, but yeah. Anyway, so that one's coming out on Home End. But I do have a recommendation for you, gentlemen, this week. As I mentioned this. Going forward, I'll have a recommendation, but this one is actually from the United States,
Yes.
which means it's only really available to customers that can play back Region A Blu-rays because Kino Lorber lock everything. So
That is a
this
good
movie,
movie.
Big Man on Campus. But if you do want to check it out, I discovered, of course, just after the Blu-ray arrived, that it's now streaming on Amazon Prime, and it's the exact same transfer as the Blu-ray, which kind of pissed me off a little. I mean, I was going to buy it regardless, but as Ben knows, I was sweating on this thing arriving. I'm not like checking the letterbox or checking the front door to make sure there's deliveries all the time, but this I've been waiting for a very long time. I had not seen it since video, and I was eager to revisit it.
I mean, the funny
So I
thing
was
is, like
sweating
that,
its arrival.
I have such a nostalgic kind of feel for that poster art, right? It's classic.
Yeah.
However, I'm looking at it now and it looks really cheap and lazy, to be honest with
It
you.
does. The Aussie video cover was a little bit more exciting because it was like him all.
My memory of it is
hunchbacked up
so
and he
much
kind of
better.
Yeah, as is my memory of the film, to be honest. But I'm not viewing it through those tinted glasses you've got there. I still think it's a pretty fun movie. Anyone that hasn't seen it, like, I can urge you check it out on Amazon Prime. But a brief synopsis is basically this kind of mythical Neanderthal type hunchback roams a college campus in Southern California, and then he comes to the aid of a young lady. And once he's thrown in the spotlight, he's sort of being called, this, I guess, like a Neanderthal, like this violent Neanderthal. And he's given opportunity to either assimilate or be thrown into, an institution. And so he's sort of coached up by the local, the campus psychologist, who's Tom Skerritt. And at the other end of the spectrum, who's saying like this violent creature can't, assimilate into, society. It's Jessica Harper, of course, from Suspiria. And for fun film fans, Inserts was also a very good role for her.
That's the one I knew
She
who
had
she
a
was
great
from.
part in that one. But it's also got Garrett Graham in it too, who I know we all love from Phantom Paradise and Child's Play 2 and countless other films, including Bud, the
He is in
Shopping
my
mall.
recommendation for this
And shopping
episode,
mall.
which
Oh,
I
fantastic.
haven't revealed yet, but he's in it.
It's coming. So in terms of the Blu-ray release, this is a pretty awesome release from Kino Lorber. I'm actually surprised though, because I thought this has been licensed by Kino from Lionsgate, and I thought Lionsgate might release it in their Vestron line because it was actually a Vestron Pictures film, but it was produced at the tail end of Vestron Pictures where they had to sell off a bunch of their stuff to try and stay afloat. So the film, which was made in '89 and did a few market screenings '89, didn't actually get released in the US till '91, which is around the same time it turned up on video here in Australia through Roadshow. So yeah, anyway, Kino's done it, but they've done it justice. There's a ton of special features. There's a commentary track with the writer on here. There's let me have a quick look. Oh yeah, featurette with the writer as well. Stills gallery and trailer. But the most exciting thing about this release is there's an alternate ending, which I'm assuming this was the original ending and it tested badly, so they went back and shot a new ending. And the ending that's in the feature, infinitely better than the alternate ending, but it is cool to see this alternate ending. Unfortunately, the only remaining sort of source material from this is like a work print tape, so the quality's pretty average. But it almost feels like one of those Joyride Roadkill alternate endings where it's not like just 3 minutes. It's actually like a full-fledged 10, 15-minute alternate ending. But it is cool to see it because, like I said, I saw this film growing up. I never thought this film would be preserved for the future, let alone we'd get to see, what happened behind the scenes. But I am very keen to listen to that commentary because I imagine there was a lot of heartbroken people because they made a film that they thought was going to come out in the late '80s, perfect timing for a type of movie like this. And then it got shelved and then dumped to video and, a lot of broken dreams, no doubt. So I want to hear all about it. The Big Man on Campus on Blu-ray through Kino Lorber in the States, but you can stream it for free if you've got a Prime subscription. So that's my recommendation, gents. Have you seen this one, Ben? You own this on tape. I imagine
I've got it on tape. Yeah.
You would, yes.
I just want to know.
But you haven't seen it, though.
I haven't watched, not since video, not since,
Oh, okay. Well,
since the
yeah.
original.
Yeah, home end release.
But I am curious, what's the perfect film to double with that? Would you go Back to School? Would you go
Oh, that's
Encino
actually
Man?
Teen Wolf.
Would you go like Dead Man on Campus?
Oh my God! All amazing picks. All amazing picks. You know what? I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. I'm actually going to say, line up Van Wilder to put on with it.
Wow. Yeah.
Because then you'll definitely get the laughs and a little nudity, little light nudity.
And some
And I think yeah, dog's ball. So do this one first, and then follow it up with Van Wilder. I actually revisited Van Wilder recently on 4K, and it was fantastic. But something I did really like about that was, now I'm not going to remember the guy's name because he's got three names similar to Joseph Gordon-Levitt that you guys had some difficulty with on last week's episode. The chap that's in Dead Man on Campus are opposite. Oh, actually, they've both got three names because it's Mark Paul Gossier, and I can't remember what the other guy's name is.
Oh,
He's in
Everett.
One True
Everett.
Thing.
Yes. Everett Scott.
Tom Everett Scott.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
And he's like the editor at the student newspaper in Van Wilder. And I thought that was wild because I was like, oh, that's funny because this is like, 3-4 years after Dead Man on Campus. Anyway, Van Wilder, double it with the Van Wilder. But gentlemen, that is it for me this week. So until next time,
Stay
Stay
physical.
Physical.
that was not bad.
Oh, yeah.